And on today's episode of Spill the Tea with LLIB, we have the amazing Lucie Campbell. So Lucie, spill the tea on what the journey as a woman in business has been like for you so far.
I don't know where to start. It's been a roller coaster. It's been an absolutely crazy journey. Good days, bad days, and everything in between. When I first started being a party entertainer and I started jumping jacks, it was a very male-dominated industry.
Yeah.
Because when I used to do sessions with babies and toddlers and work for the children's centres and the show starts before I was a party entertainer, people used to say to me, "Oh, you be good like doing kids parties," and I'd think, "Well, I'm not dressing as a clown. I'm not going to be like the typical middle-aged DJ with a pint of beer behind the decks type of thing." So when I very first started doing parties, I was very much it was all about the kids and having fun and me just going in my uniform that I went in for the sessions and getting props out like the parachute and balls and dance scarves. And I didn't even think about making money, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. It was just a hobby. I just love working with kids and seeing the faces. As cheesy as that sounds, I didn't ever think, oh, I'm going to start a business. So I feel like I just started as a self-employed person doing fitness classes with kids and dance classes with kids and sports-based classes with kids and parents, and then it just kind of evolved into an events business. But I never kind of went, do you know what, I'm going to start a business. I just found myself self-employed in a business. Not kind of knowing what I was doing, not knowing that you have to have so many hats on and do accounts and do marketing.
I just wanted to do the fun stuff.
I just thought, this is fun. Yeah, why not get paid for doing something I love? And then I was like, what am I doing here? I don't really know. It's been a crazy journey because it was just a hobby that I had, and I'm very lucky that I get to do that fun side, but sometimes doing the not so fun things can be quite hard.
Yeah.
And we can all appreciate, can't we, how hard it is to run a business when you're not just one person doing this one thing. You've got to do so many different things in the business. So I find it quite hard to juggle.
Yeah.
And being a mum and throughout the business having 3 kids as well.
When did it turn then from not being a hobby? What was that
I was just
transition?
literally, I was a fitness instructor and I came out of doing fitness classes, but I always wanted to do stuff in the community more than work for a gym. So I went to the show start and I was like, I love the community type of spirit, of being in a community centre and it being people that had never really done exercise before and just all having a laugh and having the banter that you have at the end and things of the class. I used to love it. And then I done sports coaching with kids, and it was mainly with kids with additional needs, and it was all about being inclusive. So my main thing was that it was inclusive and everyone could just have fun. And then it kind of turned when it was like one of the people who used to come, Anne-Marie, with the daughter, Care, said, "My daughter loves you. Will you do her party?" And I was like, "No, I'm not a clown. I'm not going to wear a silly outfit. This is not happening." And she said, "No, just come as yourself and we'll just have fun and let's I'll give you 50 quid. And I was like, wow, 50 quid's loads of money. Let's do this. So I went to the Asda on Smithtown Road and I bought a CD player for 50 quid. And I thought, yeah, this is boss.
So you had no profit immediately and were probably in a load of debt because you bought your
and
CD
it jumped
player.
all the way through because I didn't have an
to the world
iPod
of
then.
business.
Yeah, I'd done this party. It jumped all the way through doing the party. They didn't notice the kids were just having fun, but I thought, oh, they're going to complain. But Anne-Marie just loved it and Kay loved it. And it was just really nice. I got good feedback and people were like, oh, because people like to go away and you've made people happy. And then I thought I didn't realise when I'd done the sports and fitness, the feel-good factor I'd get after doing it.
Yeah.
I just I went to do fitness instructing because when I'd had my daughter, I was a bit lonely and I had a bit of postnatal depression and people said, oh, exercise would be really good. And I had no one to mind her, so I literally enrolled at college. So I could learn to be a fitness instructor because no one would mind my daughter while I went to the gym.
Wow.
So they put her in the college crash so I could do the fitness. That's why I joined. That's why I done it.
Really
we are ingenious, aren't we?
We'll find a way. I was like, oh, no one's going to mind. I'm a single parent at the time. I was a single parent and I just thought this is just really hard. And I just did that and it made me feel good doing the exercise. And then I kind of wanted other people. That's why I went for the community work because I wanted to make other people happy, because I knew what it was like. Like you just sometimes as a
Yeah.
mum want to get out the house and meet other people and have an adult conversation that's not about Peppa Pig or something. Like you just like find yourself like sitting watching telly and the kids have gone and you just want to find out how Peppa Pig ends. And I was
I've
like,
not seen this one before.
yeah, I was like, oh, this is a good one. This is like a really good lesson in this. And I think, do you know what? No, you need adult conversation.
We have that
Yeah.
conversation all the time on this show, especially with mums, around how we felt a little bit forced to go into being self-employed and having our own businesses. Like there was no other option around childcare for our children. So no, that's a really
Well, I could take Emily to work with me because it was mainly for the show start and community centres where they understood.
Yeah.
I feel like I always had that support network, and I was lucky in that way because it was other mums and people in the same position as me that were like, we'll bring her with you. And I was lucky that Emily was just so well behaved as well. She was such a lovely baby, and I could take, even when she was 3, I'd take like little craft packs out with me, and she'd just be sat colouring in and everybody would be saying, oh, isn't she good? And I think, well, no offence to Ethan, sorry Ethan if you're listening, but if it's had Ethan first, that wouldn't have been happening because Jack and Emily
there would be
great.
no business, Ethan.
No, Ethan, there'd be no business because Ethan was like a crazy, like he just used to run around like a lunatic.
child.
I love that.
There'd be no way I could take him to
love
work
that.
with me.
I love that. So can you share a pivotal moment or a challenge that you faced in your career that ultimately led to a valuable lesson or an insight for your business journey?
I know I hate to say the word COVID, but you've just got to do it, don't you? Because I can't think of anything worse than COVID for me. And I think I did have a big pity party because for some people, they were having the greatest time like during COVID and some people are like, this is the best time and I've got to do this and do that and do me garden up. And for me, I was like, I'm not getting any help, even though I'm a limited company. I've got premises, I got 0 grants, 0 funding. I just thought, what everyone's saying, oh, well, you're getting this for free and that for free. And I was like, I'm getting nothing for free. I'm just hitting like brick walls. So we had to sell a van, like just one of the vans. I was like, well, I'm gonna have to do something, sell a van. What can I sell? What can I do? What can I change, like to try and keep this business going? Because I still had to pay the rent and the insurances and everything else, and we didn't know how long obviously it was going to last for. So it could have been
2 years.
It could have been a couple of months, and I'm thinking, well, I need to just look at each day at a time. So I think I learned to be adaptable, and there was times where I just thought, you know what, I'm going to give these keys back to this business. I've had enough. And then like you sit there, have your little 5-minute tantrum, and then you're like, hang on a minute, I've got bills to pay and I've got kids who are looking up to me to be a good role model, and I've got to show them that like times are hard, but you've got to just pick yourself up and get on with it, because you can have the pity party, but you can't live there. Do you know what I mean? Visit the party, go home, sort yourself out.
Have a bit of cake and then go.
No time for
we
this.
said that this morning, didn't we? We just said there's just no time. And I know people talk about well-being and we talk about, you know, mental health, but sometimes you just haven't got the time to be out of the business, or that becomes a bigger problem. You taking 3 weeks off to, you know, regenerate, you know, fill that cup up. It's really hard because you are worrying about the business, and if your foot isn't on go like constantly, especially with a new business, it's really, really hard, isn't it, to then go back to it and go, oh my goodness me, you know, we haven't made no sales, except, you know, Y and Z. It's really difficult. So I'm glad you didn't stay in that party.
A
party.
I feel like
I know you do like
I felt
parties.
really empowered after, like, but a while after, it took a long time. And then I don't know what day it was, but I just remember sitting there thinking, wow, I'm actually amazing. Look what I've done. Do you know, like, and I felt really proud of myself because I thought it was really difficult, and we were so lucky to still be in business when you start looking at the positives and thinking so many of our friends in business went out of business and they're not fortunate enough to have come back from it, and we are still paying off debts, and people think, oh, COVID's over, but we are still paying off debts. The business is doing really well. We're really busy, but a lot of that money is just going back on the debt still. But I think I'm just fortunate that the business is still here, and it didn't just, because I think if it had closed over something that I felt was out of my hands, and it wasn't because I was running a bad business, because it was doing really well. We won an award just like a week before everything got shut down, and we were getting some really big contracts for corporate jobs, and we got a booking at St. George's Hall, and I was like, oh, St. George's Hall, I've always wanted to do an event there, and then it all got cancelled, and I was like, really? But I think when you look back and think, look, I'm lucky I'm still in business, because so many people weren't fortunate and they had to close the doors, and I didn't. So I've got to look at the positives, otherwise, like, you know, you can't just dwell on the negatives, can you, over it?
Yeah. So you have given a lot of advice in that bit, but have you got any further advice for others going through similar situations? What would you say?
Well, I always say it, that Emily, my daughter, who's very wise, like I think wiser than me sometimes, she always says, and I try and live by this every day, there's no problems, only solutions. So I kind of think, right, it's a problem. No, it's not. It's in my brain now. I think, no, I need to find the solution.
Yeah.
So I think the first thing you need to do is go address what the problem is, but go, right, this is a problem, but it's not where I'm going to stay. You've got to, there's some way out of it, you know. So sometimes you've just got to have a good think, and there always is a solution. It might not be what you want to do. Like me selling a van, it's not ideal, but at the end of the day, you've just got to do what you've got to do to solve the problem.
Yeah, and I think that's really great advice, isn't it? And I think sometimes we can't find the solution by ourselves, which is why having a network of people also in business, you know, to help, and being really open and transparent about the problems that you're having is really key, because one mind, you know, can do a lot, but several minds gives you lots of different options, doesn't it, on different ways that you can potentially solve that problem that you might not have even thought about. Because when you're in the problem, you kind of just get into this worry space, don't you? You know, and your mind goes down a rabbit hole of what if, rather than, okay, this is the logical problem. These are my possible options. Let's do pros and cons around that. And I think sometimes when it's your own business, it's very, very hard to be dispassionate about the business, isn't it? You know, because it's tied up with your heart and everything that you've poured into it over the last however many years. It's very hard to be logical about some of those solutions that need to happen when you're like, oh, but I love that van and that van marked, you know, us doing
it. Names as well, which is really bad. We really got invested in these vans. We had Betty and Frank.
Who did we let go?
Betty.
Why the woman?
Why?
Yeah.
Frank was bigger.
Fair dues. You've held a Frank. Size does matter sometimes.
I preferred the other van, but we had to get rid of the smaller one because we knew we couldn't live without it.
Sorry, Betty.
Yeah,
goodbye, Betty.
Yeah, that was quite sad. That was quite sad, that actually. But
I feel like during COVID, most women got a bit bigger, but not Betty.
Betty was too small.
Well done, Betty.
Okay, so building a successful business, it often involves taking calculated risks. Obviously, you've just shared quite a few risks that you decided to stay open. You decided to not stay open, but continue with business moving through even after COVID, which was, you know, a big risk for the entertainment world. Could you share a specific risk that you took that paid off, and tell us the steps that you took to whatever that question, the end of that question was?
Well, basically, we're doing the event. Obviously, it starts off as like baby and toddler sessions and then kids classes, and it kind of evolved into parties and events and decor and balloons, and you can go on and on and on with events. So you do have to draw the line somewhere. But for me, the main thing was that there was a big risk for me was when I started doing the balloons. When I found out some of the risks with helium balloons, it was making the decision going back about 4 or 5 years ago to stop using helium, because it was a really big profit thing for us, but morally I didn't want to do it anymore. So I had to kind of look and go, and obviously there's shortages now, so people are stopping for different reasons, but I felt like I couldn't justify doing balloons for someone's event and then them all going outside and releasing the balloons because it was a fun thing to do and not realising that it could harm birds and things if they come down and they land in lakes, or birds eat them or animals eat them and they could die, and people inhaling helium can be quite dangerous. It actually suffocates your voice box, and that's why your voice goes squeaky. And once I realised that you could actually die immediately from doing that.
Oh God.
And a lot of people don't realise that if your kid inhales helium or an adult inhales helium, that is actually suffocating your voice box and you could die immediately. You can have a fit, you can die, and that's it. And then I was in parties and doing proms and things, and kids are like, oh, let's suck the helium, it's fun, our voices go all squeaky. And I was thinking, what if a child died? And I know that sounds dramatic and it could be a very rare thing. If a child died because of me, or an animal died because of me, or my balloon done that, I just couldn't live with myself. And I thought I'm just not doing helium anymore. I was panicking too much and thinking about the consequences a lot. And I thought, you know what? A lot of people don't think of balloons as being eco-friendly, but we use natural rubber latex, biodegradable balloons. They biodegrade 2 to 6 years, depending on the brand. You need to cut them up and things like that. I don't use confetti anymore. The glitter we use for glitter tattoos and parties is eco-friendly, biodegradable glitter. And so we try and be as eco-friendly as we can. So when I first stopped doing it, I was like, what have I done? I've literally just cut out, because a lot of people are doing air-filled now, but they weren't then. And I just kind of went, no. And then people were messaging me, oh, can I have 10 table clusters like that you get normally at a christening? And I was like, oh no, I'm doing this different type of air-filled thing on a stand, and people hadn't seen it, so they didn't really want to commit to having something different. But I was trying to explain it without sounding like I was like trying to give someone an education.
Yeah.
But I personally do think they look better.
Yeah.
They're more fun to make. They're more fun. You can do something a bit more like detailed and personal. You can personalise them and you can make them match any theme or colour scheme. I love doing the air-filled stuff. I can be more creative. But as well, I haven't got the thoughts of the consequences of the helium balloons. I love animals as well. So I'm quite an outdoorsy type of person. Like I go to Wales a lot and walking and the thought that like it's just litter, do you know, as well.
Yeah.
It can cause fires as well if certain like balloons and ribbons come down on like electrical lines and things like that. It can actually cause fires and stuff. So the more I read into it, I thought once you know something, you can't unknow it.
Yeah, I was just going to say exactly the same. Once you know something, you have a decision to make, don't you, based on that knowledge?
Yeah, and I did literally cut off so many jobs, and I was turning work away left, right and centre, and I was thinking, have I done the right thing? And I thought, well, your business is your business, and some people will be happy making money, just making money without any thought about it. You know, it depends on what type of person you are. 100%. Whereas I thought, no, this is something that I'm passionate about, and it doesn't matter that it makes money.
Yeah.
If I don't feel right doing it, I can't do it.
Yeah. Wow.
So that was a big decision.
Yeah. So can you share 3 tips within your niche that you know will support any woman in business who's watching this episode today?
One of my big ones was when I first started in business, and you're looking at your competition, aren't you, going, oh, they're doing this and they're doing that. And it's so easy to go down the rabbit hole of, oh, I should be doing that because so-and-so's doing that, and I should be doing this because so-and-so. But I think I don't even look anymore. If things pop up on my Facebook or Instagram, obviously I see them, but I just don't go looking for it. I think, do you know what? I need to think about what I want to do and what makes me different, because it's like with parties and events when people say to me, oh, they're charging $250 or for whatever it is, and oh, can you do it for that price? It's the same. They're doing this, that and the other. They might be doing the same games or the same dances, but it's not the same, because you'll have your own little quirks and your experience, and you might use more expensive equipment. So I think it's just standing your grounds of going, do you know what do I want to do? What makes me different? If I'm doing a lot of businesses are in the same industry, so they're doing the same, of just doing little things that make you stand out and make you a little bit different. Not looking at what other people are doing and feeling like you've got to keep up with them. Just stay in your own lane and do what you're confident with, because if you're not confident doing something, it's going to come across anyway. Yeah. And it's not going to be genuine if you start going, I'm doing that because they're doing it and not because you're passionate about it. So probably just like staying with what you're confident with, looking at what your strengths are that make you a little bit different or stand out from other people, and making sure you stick with your marketing, because I see loads of businesses as well that think business is going to come to them and it doesn't. It's not easy. Just because you see someone's busy, that's got nothing to do with anything. You have to like almost be like a stalker, like annoying people every day. Hi, I'm here again. Yeah. Do you know, because especially with algorithms and stuff, you just don't know what people are seeing. So you just have to make sure you're talking about your business all the time. It might annoy people, but at the end of the day, it's the only way you can let people know.
I don't think it's annoying people. I think at the end of the day, people are spending less time, more time off social media than on social media. And I think, you might post 5 times a day, but your ideal client may only see one of those posts because of Instagram and, TikTok and the algorithm and what they are a business at the end of the day. So they've got their own ways of doing things. So no, I love that. Stay in your own lane and focus on your market. And, you know, even you don't have to be there, schedule things to go out, you know, but your business has always got to be running in the background. And that's why it's really important to learn about the market and that goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, because you could have the best business in the world, but if nobody knows about it, then you're not going to be able to run your business at all. Yeah. And I think one big thing that you guys always say, and I always like stick with this all the time, I think I shout it from the rooftops. I'm like, not everyone is your customer.
Yeah.
That's a main lesson I've learned. And I've not, even though I've been in business years and years, I feel like I've really learned this the last few years. Because it's never too late to learn new skills, is it, in business?
No, I think you have to learn
it's evolving
all the time.
and learning all the time. But I think I used to feel like every customer's got to be my customer and they've got to book with me. And now I feel like maybe that person's not right for me. And maybe I'm not right for them, and there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe they need a different events company and they've got a different vision, you know, like, and someone else can complete that vision better than I can. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to beat myself up. You just don't get on, and in the way that what they've got in their heads and what you've got in yours just doesn't line up, and that's fine. I think I've come to peace with it, where I'm like, that's fine.
I love that.
Yeah, me too. I have a big vision, Lucie. A really big vision of a world where people make tea correctly.
Yeah.
It's something I'm really passionate about. It could be a business.
Yeah.
Could be another business.
You should really stay in your own lane.
And I do stay in my own lane with it. I'm very much in my own lane. I'm very clear on the mission and the job in front of me. So we have this closing tradition, Lucie, which is all around how you make the perfect cup of tea.
Right.
Yeah.
So before Cal leads you into anything,
I will not lead with any question.
Tell us how
else.
you would make
the perfect cup of tea.
A perfect cup of tea.
Don't want to offend anyone here, but it's got to be Yorkshire tea.
Yes.
It's got to be Yorkshire tea. I get the double strength tea bags as well.
Oh, double strength.
Yeah, they're like 2 cups in one, because I like a nice strong cup of tea.
One that
So
you
is
can
that a
trot
thing?
your donkey on.
Trot your donkey on.
Yeah. So I like a nice strong cup of tea, pour the water in, leave it for a bit, go off and do something, but not too long.
Yeah,
Like
on
so.
double strength. You know, you
Yeah,
don't
we
need
like to
leave it.
multitask us women in business, don't we? Maybe send a couple of emails.
We do.
Yeah.
I never just stand there waiting. There's never, Dave does, my husband, just so you can hear this while he's listening.
Yeah.
Dave, you can't do emails and other things at the same time, you know.
Come on, Dave.
Yeah.
So you I sent a couple of emails, message Emily or like one of the kids, come back to it, don't squeeze the tea bag too much, it goes bitter. This is very, very intricate, by the way, but it's to make the perfect cup of tea. Take your tea bag out.
Don't give the tea bag
I
a
don't
hug.
squeeze it too much, just a little bit so it doesn't drip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or you get like a bit of a bitter twang in your cup of tea.
That's interesting.
Take your tea bag out, put it in the bin,
Yeah.
put your milk in. Don't put your milk in first.
Definitely not.
No, putting your milk in first. If you put your milk in first, you've just destroyed your cup of tea.
Exactly, Lucie. I know.
I do love you, Claire, but you don't do that. You just don't do that.
There's just a way, isn't there?
There is a way, isn't there? And there's a right way and there's a wrong way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
So, but you both would drink it, wouldn't you? You would drink it. You would drink
I'll
a
still
cup
drink
of tea.
it.
Yeah.
But it'll taste nicer if it's done right.
Yeah. There's only the the question was, how do you make a proper cup of tea?
Proper cup of tea.
And that was how you
Oh,
do it.
don't get me wrong. If anyone says to me, how do you like your tea? I'll drink it however it comes. I'm just grateful I got made one. Especially if we're in a party or something and someone ever goes to me, oh, do you want a cuppa? And I think I ran out like a lunatic this morning, sorting the kids out, tidying up. I haven't even had a cuppa or any breakfast. And someone goes, do you want a cuppa? How do you like it? I'm like, however it comes.
Yeah.
I'll drink it however it comes. I'm just grateful someone took the time to make it. But if I make it, I'll make it properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on that
Love you,
happy
Claire.
And
note-
on that happy note, how are you enjoying your cups of tea this morning? Which one of us made it?
Oh,
Give it a taste.
you made it, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
No, she didn't. I made it. So there you go, everybody. The best way to make a cup of tea, even though people don't like to agree, is to leave your tea bag in with your milk. Thank you, Lucie, for being an amazing guest.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.